Hello viewers, welcome to Kids Auto and Truck Repair. Today we have a Dodge Ram. This vehicle came to us about 2 months ago. We did a rack and pinion on this truck. Some of you will remember the video that I made a little while ago about this truck. We replaced the rack and pinion, the customer picked up the vehicle, all was well. And then 2 weeks later, he called me and told me that when he turns the steering wheel, when he makes a sharp turn, the steering wheel doesn't auto-correct. So, you know when you turn the steering wheel all the way to the left, for example, when you go back, it should auto-correct, and that's not happening because when you turn the steering wheel to the left, it gets stuck. So the customer brought the vehicle back, I looked at it, I test drove the vehicle, I confirmed the customer's complaint. When you turn the steering wheel all the way to one direction, the steering wheel gets stuck. We did the test last time, the wiring is good. So actually what I did after that was we checked the alignment. We double checked the alignment to see if it was aligned properly. We did, and our alignment angles were good. So the alignment wasn't the issue. The issue is a defective rack and pinion. So we got a faulty unit. I reached out to my Napa store. I told them and they said, sure, we're gonna send you another unit. So they warranted this unit. They sent us another one. So we're gonna go ahead and replace the rack and pinion on this truck. I'm filming this because last time when I did the replacement of this rack and pinion, some of you left me comments in the comment section asking that I should show you how I replaced the rack and pinion. So I took your comments into consideration, so we're doing what you guys want. So this video is gonna be about removing and replacing the rack and pinion on this truck. But before we do that, we're gonna go on a test drive. I'm gonna show you what the customer is complaining about, and then we're gonna drive the truck in the shop so we can replace it. Now, before we go on a test drive so I can show you, I have my buddy Ian here with me. Ian, how are you?
Pretty good, you?
Good. So Ian is our intern. Ian has been getting all the work done around here. So it's good to have you. You excited to get this rack and pinion done?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah? Okay, so now let's go in the vehicle so we can test drive this truck, and then we're gonna get this rack and pinion replaced. All right, so let's take this for a spin. We're not gonna go far. I just wanna show you guys what the customer is complaining about. The steering wheel is straight. Like I said, the alignment is not the issue, and we don't have a light on the dash, so no electric steering light. The steering wheel is very soft. The initial complaint was the steering wheel was hard. That's why we replaced the rack and pinion. So what he told me was, actually, we can just do it over here. What he told me was when he turns left, the steering wheel doesn't auto-correct. So let's try it right here. So I'm gonna make a sharp left here. And it's kind of auto-correcting now. That's odd. That's how it is. When you start filming, everything starts working. I did check it out last time. It was not auto-correcting. So if you go right here. Huh. Interesting. It's working now. It wasn't working. It wasn't working before. Let's do it again here. So we're gonna turn left. That's weird. I don't know what to say. I mean, it's working now. It wasn't working.
I think you fixed it.
I don't know. Maybe it fixed itself. Let me just turn over here. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Let's go back to the shop. I mean, we got another rack and pinion anyways. I'm gonna replace it because last time when he brought it back, I rode with him and I was able to confirm what he was saying, like the steering wheel was not auto-correcting after you made the turn. Okay, I mean, for some reason it decided to work now, but that's usually how it is. Sometimes when I do the test, the issue disappears, and if I give it back to the customer, 2 days later, it starts acting up and you have a customer that calls you back and frustrated. So just to be on the safe side of things, I wish I could have shown you. I was able to confirm that the first time he came back, but this time it's not doing it. So we're gonna drive back in the shop and then we're gonna get this rack and pinion replaced. We have another one, so let's get this replaced. I'm gonna get this set up on the rack and then I'll bring you guys back up. We had to put the vehicle on jack stands. We tried lifting the vehicle up on our alignment rack, but this vehicle had been lifted, so it's too high. We can't really lift it safely, so we're gonna have to do this on jack stands. Ian is taking the tires off. He already removed the tire on the passenger side, so now he's gonna remove the tire on the driver's side. He's gonna get the wheel cover off first, and then he's gonna undo the lug nuts. Perfect. That's a heavy tire. It's pretty big. Come on, Ian. Muscle up. Nice. You can just put it back there.
Oh.
Are you all right? Okay, cool. So I'm gonna undo the outer tie rod. This nut, I believe, is a 21 millimeter nut. Yeah, right there. So Ian, if you can give me that gun, we're gonna undo this guy here. Just like that, perfect. Actually, last time I lubed this very well, it came out pretty easily. Okay, now actually, before I remove this, while we have this up, Ian, if you can give me a 24 millimeter wrench, and then Dom, can you come on this side and show this drive axle? Look at how torn this drive axle boot is. Look at this. This is torn out. So we're gonna have to make an estimate for the drive axle. Yeah, we cannot just replace the boot because there's dirt that got into this joint. So eventually this is gonna start making noise. So that's a problem right there. All right. So now, since I still have this ball joint, outer tie rod in place, I'm gonna undo this guy. Let me see if I can, how tight is this thing? There we go. All right. So it's gonna be a lot easier if we get the tie rod out. So I'm gonna remove the tie rod completely. Okay. I'm gonna put the nut on it. We're just gonna sit it right there. Okay. Now I'm gonna count the threads after the nut. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So about 5 threads over here. When we put the new rack and pinion back on, I'm gonna make sure that all I mean, the number of threads we have behind the nut are the same on the new rack and pinion. That's going to make it easier to do the alignment. Okay, so now let's go on the other side so we can remove the outer tie rod on the passenger side. Actually, Ian, did you see what I did? A little bit? Okay, I'll let you do the other side. So let's go there. So now Ian is gonna show us how it's done. Good. So the nut is removed. Now, right now, if you, yeah, go ahead. Careful. Yeah, go. Keep going. Let's see how strong you are, Ian. Ian is struggling with it. Come on, buddy, you got it. You got it? Okay, good. That's good enough. That's good. Okay, so now you can remove the outer tie rod. You have to lift it and then undo it the other way. Then once you take it out completely, you're gonna put the nut on it. All right, so now I'm gonna undo the steering column bolt. There is a bolt over here that connects the steering wheel column to the rack and pinion. We have Ian in the truck. He's gonna turn the steering wheel for us. Ian, can you turn the steering wheel to the other direction? Go the other direction. All right, that's good, right there. Stay there. Come back a little bit. Just a little bit. Yeah, right there. Stay there. Awesome. So I hope cameraman Dom can see the bolt. You see my tool?
Yeah.
Okay, that's good right there. So I'm gonna undo this bolt completely. So I got the bolt loose. I'm gonna remove it completely. All right, so I'm gonna take it out. So now I'm gonna find a way to pry the steering shaft out. So now I'm gonna remove the steering shaft. I'm coming in through the wheel well on the driver's side. I'm just gonna grab it and pull it back and forth. So just like that. Okay, now this shaft only goes in one direction, so we're good. So now let's go under the truck. Now we're gonna remove this cover. I'm gonna remove this cover that covers the front differential, and then we're gonna remove the rack and pinion. So I'm gonna remove this bolt first. These bolts are 19mm bolts, and they're all the same. They're all the same length. And then this one over here. Now I'm gonna undo the last one. I'm gonna hold this cover like that. Perfect. We got that cover removed. So now here's our rack and pinion. It's a little wet over here. I don't know if the rack and pinion is leaking. I don't know if this fluid is coming from the front differential, but anyways. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm going to disconnect these electrical connectors. I'm gonna disconnect the first, actually this one here first. I'm gonna undo this a little red locking piece over here. I'm gonna push the tab down. There we go. I got the first one disconnected. Are you taking off? Okay, see you tomorrow. Undo it. Good, take it out. Okay, and then take out the other bolts too. Good, and now the rack and pinion can come down. Okay, actually Ian, you can come out. I'm gonna lower the rack and pinion. Man, this thing is heavy. So here it comes. And he's gonna bring it over here. Perfect. There is our rack and pinion. Just bring it over here. Actually, hold on. Let me grab the tire. Actually, no. Let me grab this. Sit it right there. All right. As you can see, our rack and pinion, it still looks new, right? I replaced it not too long ago. I don't like how wet it is over here. Can you kind of zoom in here? Look at this. This looks like grease. It's like the grease is leaking out of it, right? Freaking aftermarket parts. I told the customer, you can buy the original one from Chrysler, I mean from Dodge. He didn't want to pay, I think it's like $4,000. He didn't want to pay $4,000 for it. So he wanted me to install the Napa one. Here's what we got. So now, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna count, actually let's get the other one, we're gonna lay it next to each other, next to that one. Okay, now Ian is gonna get the new rack and pinion out of the box. Perfect. Now you wanna open that box nicely because we're gonna send the defective one back to the store. We're gonna reuse this box. Oh, look at it. We have some instructions here. This is a Dorman product. Actually, the one I installed last time wasn't a Dorman one. So I'm gonna read the instructions off camera. I think the Dorman one might be a better quality compared to this one. Okay, see that? Okay, so as we lay these next to each other, one thing I have to mention is that I believe the rod over here is a little bit too long. Yeah, because last time when I did it, the inner tie rod was a little longer. I had to cut it. So I'm gonna have to cut this one off a little bit. So I have to shave off a couple threads. So I'm gonna get my cut-off wheel. We're gonna cut this off just a little bit. We're gonna do the same thing on both sides. Nice. So I cut that little piece off. So now, oops, I don't wanna break my tool. So I cut that piece off. So now I am going to insert our new tie rod end here. Now what this does is, let me see, it's probably not too hot. So if this rod is too long, when we do the alignment, we won't be able to adjust the outer tie rod as much as we want, okay? So That's why we cut this off a little bit, so we can adjust the outer tie rod and a lot better. So I'm gonna remove it. I will reinstall it once we have the rack and pinion in the vehicle. I just wanted to make sure that we can screw it in. Okay, so let me take it out. Now we're gonna cut the same, we're gonna do the same thing on this side. So I'm gonna move this over here. Okay, I did mark this one. I don't know if you can see, there's a little black mark that I made right there. So we're gonna cut this. All right, so we cut that piece off. Same thing. I'm gonna use my outer tie rod. I'm gonna try to install it just like that. Okay, good. So that's all we had to do to prep our new rack and pinion. Now, this rack and pinion is a doorman rack and pinion, so I believe this will work a lot better. The good thing about being a Napa Auto Care Center, I don't know if I said it already, I am a Napa Auto Care Center. So when we install these components, the store gives us warranty on these parts. That's why I don't take customer supplied parts, because if the customer brought this was gonna cost the customer more money to do this. Since we provided the parts and we got the parts through Napa and we're a Napa Auto Care Center, Napa is covering the part and the labor. So I'm still gonna get paid for doing this again because they sent us a defective unit. We're gonna replace it. They sent us a new unit and they're also covering our labor. That's a good thing about being a Napa Auto Care Center. So now that we got our new rack and pinion prepped, so now I'm gonna take it to the vehicle. So I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna put our new rack and pinion right over here. Okay, so I'm gonna lift it. So now it's time to muscle up. So one side is gonna go in first. I have to be careful not to drop this on my face. Okay, so I believe this side is gonna go in first, and then this side, and then I'm gonna lift it. So as I'm lifting it, I'm looking at my holes where the bolts go. I'm gonna get my wiring out of the way. I'm gonna push the bolts in, just like that. This is the fun part. So I'm making sure that everything is lined up. Okay, so I got my bolts started. I'm keeping the rack and pinion stable. All right. No. Oh no. I did it wrong. Because this side over here is good. But here, you see what I did wrong? It's supposed to be over here. Oh, dang. Okay. All right, that's fine. It happens. I just need to muscle up more. Come on. It's not easy. It's not easy, guys. I mean, I could have used the jack to jack this up a little bit, but That's fine. I can just lift it. Yeah. Okay. You got it. Thank you, Dom. Cameraman Dom to the rescue. Dang it. Okay, great. I got the bolt started. This is why you gotta hit the gym sometimes, you know. Yeah, because now if I had used the jack to jack this up, we could have done it a lot easier, but then I have to go around the jack to look at it. So this rack and pinion is not really heavy. So we got it. So now I'm gonna get the bolt snug all the way. Once we get the bolt snug, and then we're gonna torque this bolt. Okay. All right, let me grab my gun. So I'm gonna get these bolts started with the gun, and then we're gonna torque them down. Now the torque spec for these big bolts is 235 foot-pound. So we're gonna torque this one to 235 foot-pound. All right, so that's torqued. So that's torqued too. All right. Nice. So we got both rack and pinion bolts torqued to 235 foot-pound. So now we're gonna come down here. I'm going to reconnect the electrical connectors. After I get everything connected, cameraman Dom can come down here and show you everything. Nice. All right, so we got the wires connected. So I hope, Dom, you can see all that. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna get my outer tie rods installed. We're gonna install them on both sides. I'm gonna get the wheels straight, and then I'm gonna reconnect our steering shaft that connects to the rack and pinion. So I'm gonna apply a little bit of grease on these threads over here, and then we're gonna install our outer tie rod. Now there were 5 threads, so I'm gonna turn this nut over here all the way up to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So 5 threads about there. Now I always try to get these adjustments as close as I can, because I know we're gonna get this aligned. Okay, this will be adjusted, but if you get it very close to where it was, it's gonna be easier to align the front end. Okay, so right there. Now this nut over here for the outer tie rod, we can torque it. The torque spec for it is 110 foot-pound. So I'm gonna grab our 21 millimeter socket right there, so we can torque this. We're gonna set up our torque wrench to 110 foot-pound. right there. I hope you heard the torque wrench click. So that's good. Now we're gonna tighten this nut over here. I'm not gonna get it too tight, just enough, because when we do the alignment, we're gonna undo this nut again to adjust the alignment. So that's good. We're done over here. I'm gonna get this wheel, the steering knuckle straight. So this looks pretty straight to me. Okay, so now let's go on the passenger side so we can install the outer tie rod. We're gonna do the same thing on this side. We're gonna apply a little bit of grease over here. And then let me remove this nut first. And then we're gonna screw this thing in. Just like that. Now on this side, we had about 3 threads between the nut and the rod over here. So I think it was around this area. Again, this will be adjusted when the alignment is done, so we don't have to worry too much about it. All right, I think we are a little bit off here, but that's fine. I'm not gonna stress over it. Once we align it, that should be taken care of. So now we're gonna torque this nut. Let me grab another ratchet. Oh, we're getting lucky today. Sometimes this rod on the outer tie rod spins. Luckily, this one is not spinning, so that's good. So now we're gonna torque this guy. There we go. Let's double check. Good. So that's torqued. We're good. So now I'm going to tighten this nut just enough. Okay. Right. Now, in case you guys are wondering, this is the next day. Ian is not here with us. We had to stop this last night because why did we even start, Dom? Do you know? Oh, you had to leave. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, we stopped last night.
It's like 5:15.
5:15. Yes. So it was. Yeah. So we had to leave. Dom is making fun. Anyways, Dom is making me laugh. We had to leave because it was getting late. Dom had to leave, and it was 5. So we closed the shop at 5. So it was closing time, and then we had 2 customers showed up towards the end of the day. So that also took us away from this. So yeah, that's why. So Ian is not here with us. I'm gonna finish this. So now the next step is gonna be installing the steering shaft on the rack and pinion, and then we're gonna put the tires back on. Then we will take this to the alignment place. Now we have an alignment machine here, but our machine is down right now. Yeah, Dom can show it to you. So our alignment machine is not working. So our alignment machine is not working right now. So I'm outsourcing all my alignment for now. I have a friend that has a shop in the area and he has an alignment machine. So he's been doing all my alignments for me and he's really good. So I'm gonna take this to him. He's gonna take care of the alignment. And also I did talk to the customer about the axles. Actually I think it's this one over here. The boot is leaking. So he told me to give him an estimate so we can replace the axles. So we're gonna go get the alignment done first and finish this video. If he gives us the go ahead to do the axles, then I will do the axles maybe later today. The owner is out of town, so he doesn't need the truck right now. He's gonna be back next week. So now let's install the steering shaft. since there's only two of us right now in the shop, so Dom and I, yesterday we had Ian holding the steering wheel for us. Now as I reconnect the steering shaft on the rack and pinion, it's a lot easier if you have someone holding the steering wheel straight so we don't make it crooked. Now, although we're gonna go get the alignment done, all of that is gonna get checked. I always like to make all the alignment angles as close to perfect as possible because that helps the alignment technician, the person who does the alignment. It makes their life a lot easier. So I'm gonna have Dom hold the steering wheel straight in the vehicle while I'm connecting the steering shaft on the rack and pinion. So we won't be able to show you the process. So it's pretty straightforward. You know, Dom is gonna hold the steering wheel and then I'll connect it, that's it. And then we're gonna put the bolt on. So we're gonna do that off camera and then we'll bring you guys back up. So we're gonna show you the bolt that I tightened. So this is the steering shaft. As you can see, we got it connected to the rack and pinion, so right there. So we're good. Okay, this is what we did off camera. So we tightened this bolt, we got this shaft connected, so we're good to go. I had to remove the fender, the wheel well cover, so this cover over here. I had to remove this so I could install that shaft. It was a lot easier with that cover off. So I'm gonna reinstall this cover. Removing this cover is very straightforward, just a couple bolts. I'm gonna put that back on and then we're gonna put the tires back and then we will drive this to my buddy's shop so he can do the alignment. So now we're gonna install this shield over here that covers the front differential. We had to remove this to get to the rack and pinion. So we're gonna put this back on because this prevents the front differential from getting damaged if the driver accidentally hits something. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Man, this truck has got me dirty. I can't believe I'm this dirty. I hate getting dirty when I'm working. My dad used to tell me, I was telling cameraman Dom off camera earlier, when I was working with my dad, he used to tell me, if you go to a shop and you see two mechanics, one clean one in terms of uniform and how he presents himself, and then another one that's dirty, my dad used to say the dirty mechanic doesn't know what he's doing. The clean mechanic, he's the one who knows what he's doing. That's the professional. So I always kept that with me. I always try to stay clean as I can because being a mechanic doesn't mean being dirty. So I'm gonna have to wash my uniform tonight. So now let's get this tire on. This is a heavy tire, jeez. Now you guys are gonna see me struggle. I need to get one of those like tire installers for the big tires like this. I think I got it. No. Come on. I think I got one. What the freak? Man, I'm struggling with this. There's a tool they sell. You just lift the bottom of the tire. Actually, I think I can just use two pipes like we used to do it in the good old days. Hold on. Let me show you a trick. They say work smart, not hard. So I'm gonna use this over here. I'm gonna line this up. And then, oops, I'm gonna lift this. Maybe move this a little bit right here. They say work smart, not hard. There we go. Leverage, baby. You gotta use some leverage. Yeah, these big tires, man. This truck was lifted, so the tires are huge. And they're heavy. Dang. All right, I'm gonna grab a torque wrench so we can torque these lug nuts. So the torque spec for the lug nuts is 120 foot-pounds. So I went back and double checked service info. So it says 120. So we're gonna crisscross these lug nuts. So just like that. I'm gonna double check all of them. All right, now we're gonna install this cover that goes over here. So this is gonna go right here. These are pretty nice rims. These rims look pretty nice, but he has to clean them. All right, so we torqued the wheels. So now we're gonna take the vehicle to the alignment machine. So I'm gonna take it to my friend so he can do the alignment. We're not gonna film the process because my friend doesn't allow me to film in his shop. So we're gonna drop it off there so they can get the alignment done. And then after the alignment is done, I will bring you guys back up so we can do a last test drive. And after that, we're gonna wrap up this video. So we will bring you guys back up once the alignment is done. It is the next day. We got the alignment done on this truck. Everything is put back together. So now we're gonna go on a test drive before we wrap up this video. Let's test drive this vehicle and see how it drives, and then we'll be done. So now let's go on a test drive. We're gonna back out of here. Oh, it's cold. As you can see, the steering wheel is centered. We don't have to go far. We're just gonna drive up the street and then we should be done. And also, these are our alignment results. Okay, so we did the alignment, everything is good. Let me get my seatbelt on. Yeah, this is good. And also, there's one thing I want to mention. After I talked to my Napa rep, he actually told me that the Rack and Pinion that they sent us was a brand new one, because what I installed in the past was a remanufactured rack and pinion. But since that one didn't work properly, they decided to send me a brand new rack and pinion. So the one we got was a brand new one, and they didn't charge me extra for that. So that was awesome. All right, so we're driving. As you can see, our steering wheel is straight. The vehicle is not pulling. I'm not holding the steering wheel, so that's good. Yeah, this is good. This is fixed. We don't have any lights on the dash. I'm gonna turn around here. Actually, let's turn over here. Yeah, this is good. Actually, when I told the customer that the rack and pinion they sent us was new, he was very happy, because last time he paid for a remanufactured rack and pinion. Now he got a new one, and it didn't cost him anything. He didn't pay a dime. And because we are Napa Auto Care Center, so that program covers the part and our labor if something goes wrong. Okay, so our steering wheel is coming back. Yeah, we're good. We're gonna drive back to the shop. Once we get back to the shop, we're gonna wrap up this video. So this is why we don't take customer supplied parts, because if the customer supplied his own part, this would have cost him a lot more, because he was gonna pay labor twice. But since we provided the part, and we're Napa Auto Care Center, so that covered the cost of labor and the part. All the customer had to do was drop off the truck, wait a couple days, now it's done. He's gonna come pick it up, and then, you know, we're good to go. So we are back at the shop. This is fixed. I am going to leave this right over here. I hope you like the video. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. If you don't like the video, give it a thumb down. But if you do, tell us why, so we can make better videos in the future. If you're not a subscriber, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Cameraman Dom, thanks for being here. See you guys next time.